Hello YouTubers, this is Mr. Elathermania, which in definition means a strong zeal or desire for freedom, something we all should have. I would like to go through and give you a little lesson on what's going on since the shooting with the AR-15 and the school, which is very interesting. I must point out before I go into the definition of this that the only person that no one that knew this woman, this teacher, knew that she had an AR-15, which is very interesting and didn't come out till a few days later. Everybody knew she had pistols, but nobody knew she had an AR-15. But we'll get back into that here in a minute. I want to discuss something that is clouding America. What is an assault rifle? Here's some assault rifles. This is one, probably it was this, the Stake 44. Boy, that was 1944. This fully automatic came out. This was AK-47 fully automatic, 1949. 1964, the M16. These are all military guns, okay? Let's read what an assault rifle is. Go lay down. Come on. An assault rifle, it says, now I'm going to leave the link to this. It took me 3 seconds. I typed in what is the definition of assault rifle. Wikipedia came out and it says an assault rifle is a selective fire, either fully automatic or burst capable. Burst capable is what we call 3-shot burst. It does 3 shots in a burst. Okay. It has a exchangeable cartridge. Assault rifles are a standard rifle used in most modern armies. Assault rifles are cartridge categorized in between a light machine gun. Okay, so the definition of an assault rifle is a fully automatic or 3-shot burst rifle, which has been banned since early 1800s. Okay, it was what, 1860s, I believe. I'm not totally sure. I'm sure it will cover that down through here. It does speak here at the top that there was an assault rifle ban in 1994 to 2004, but these guns have already been banned since the 18. The only reason they called this an assault rifle ban is, well, I'll lead into that here in a little bit, but it also revised the assault rifle ban since the 1860s. All right, so this is not what you've been hearing at all on the news, is it? Not at all. Those are assault rifles. The government or the media, well, the government and the media, want everybody to think that these machine guns are being sold at every gun store, just anywhere you can purchase a gun. This is what we used in the Vietnam War. I had a 3-shot burst. This is the M16. You cannot purchase these at a gun show unless you have a stamp, which costs thousands of dollars and takes a minimum of 6 months to get okayed by the FBI to purchase an assault rifle. Okay, so we already have an assault rifle ban, and it's impossible to get one. I mean, it's very expensive. You're going to be driving Porsches if you can afford one of these, and not only afford it's about $5,000-$6,000 for this gun or this gun. All right. and I think it's around $3,000, $4,000 for the stamp to be able to purchase it, and a massive background check from the FBI. Okay, so we already have the tightest and have had the tightest assault rifle bans in America, just like any other country. The reason these are not very accessible, and you'll never hear of anybody shooting up a mall or shooting up anything with one of these, with a real assault rifle. Never. It doesn't happen because it's never been accessible by the public ever. Since they first came out, since this was available, this old World War II gun. Okay? So there you go, there's assault rifle. Now, why is it being told that assault rifles are just a semi-automatic gun when they're not? Well, that's interesting enough. Let's listen to what a man that works with Obama and has worked on the first assault rifle ban, so-called assault rifle ban, will say about the whole thing. This is very interesting.
What we need to do is change the way in which people think about guns, especially young people. One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
Isn't that interesting? Doesn't that sound a lot like what is like on CNN every single day? Huh. Doesn't that sound familiar? Let's hear it one more time.
Young people. One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
Isn't that interesting? Well, let's see what President Obama
during the Democratic National Convention in 2008.
Pause it. Let's see what President Obama and Romney say. What'd I do? Let's see what they say when they're asked about what are you going to do about assault rifles. Now that you know the truth about assault rifles, okay, you're going to see Romney and Obama have to try to not let you know that assault rifles, well, Romney doesn't do it, but Obama does. He first speaks the truth, but then he lies and says that those guns that have been used in these killings are assault rifles, all right? But then Romney will come on there and he'll say, well, we already have a ban on assault rifles. Pay attention.
The Democratic National Convention in 2008, you stated you wanted to keep AK-47s out of the hands of criminals. What has your administration done or plan to do to limit the availability of assault weapons?
You know, we're a nation that believes in the Second Amendment, and I believe in the Second Amendment. You know, we've got a long tradition of hunting.
Okay, he's going to play politician, and he's going to talk about people who have been killed, and he's not going to mention assault rifles at all for a while. So I'm going to fast forward this.
And whose sons or daughters or husbands didn't survive. So my belief is that, A, we have to enforce the laws we've already got.
Exactly, because that is a true assault rifle ban.
Make sure that we're keeping guns out of the hands of criminals, those who are mentally ill. We've done a much better job in terms of background checks, but we've got more to do when it comes to enforcement. But I also share your belief that weapons that were designed for soldiers in war theaters don't belong on our streets.
True.
And so what I'm trying to do is to get a broader conversation about how do we reduce the violence generally. Part of it is seeing if we can get an assault weapons ban reintroduced, but part of it is also looking at other sources of the violence. Because frankly, in my hometown of Chicago, there's an awful lot of violence, and they're not using AK-47s, they're using cheap handguns.
And all guns are banned in Chicago, just so you know. And there's a lot of violence there. Okay, enough of hearing you. You've said everything we need to hear. That assault rifles are not that the assault rifle ban has already been done. Good job, Obama. Now let's hear from Romney.
Legislation on guns and taking guns away or making certain guns illegal. We of course don't want to have automatic weapons, and that's already illegal in this country to have automatic weapons. What I believe is we have to do, as the president mentioned towards the end of his remarks there, which is to make enormous efforts to enforce the gun laws that we have and to change the culture of violence we have. And you ask, how are we going to do that? And there are a number of things. He mentioned good schools. I totally agree. We were able to drive our schools.
Okay, now you'll notice that this is a long video. And that's pretty much all they say in that video. And I'll put the link to this video on there. That's pretty much all they're going to say about it, because the whole situation about assault rifles is false. An AK-47 and an AR-15 is no different than any other hunting rifle. We can get bigger clips and for hundreds of different assault rifles. Or, see, you got me saying it. They're not assault rifles. So, to ban an AK-47 or anything else, we're going to have to ban tons of hunting rifles that we have. My AK-47 has a scope on it and has a 5-round clip in it, and I take it deer hunting into other states. I can't hunt in it in Ohio. And it is an excellent deer hunting rifle. Excellent. It's a cheap, inexpensive deer hunting rifle. Well, that is until they put bans on and you can't find any because everybody buys them up. This is before they put bans up. Hundreds of thousands of guns get sold so fast and the price goes up because you can't find them. Everybody wants to buy them and then they bury them. So you ain't getting rid of them. You can put as much bans as you want on. There's over, of these kind of guns we're talking about here, that you could put this assault rifle ban on, are over, what is it? Like 1.6 or 100, what is it? 160 million AK-47s, AR-15s are in population. And when you start talking about gun control, people start burying them. So you're not going to get rid of them. And I'm going to tell you show you why we're not going to get rid of them. I see a lot of people on blogs and everything start talking about that, saying that people in America do not know, or that people in America, or apparently do not know, what the Second Amendment says. People in America are constantly saying that the Constitution never planned on us having anything over muskets. Not true. Second Amendment says, and if you can't find the Second Amendment, it's pretty easy to find on Google. It says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. For what? What does that mean? For your freedom of tyranny, okay? It's your freedom. The right to the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, we all know that all the amendments in the Constitution is a protection for you against your government, against tyranny. Your First Amendment is about your freedom of speech, and so that the government doesn't run over your freedom of speech. Is what keeps all this in line is your Second Amendment, so that the government fears the mass amount of guns that you have, that you can rise up against them. And of course, if you even mention that, they're going to say you're a terrorist, because they are very fearful of your Second Amendment right now, and they're going to start chomping on it as this country becomes more and more of a socialist country. And it's becoming a socialist country faster and faster and faster because of like that one man said, they're going to brainwash you into thinking we need more laws. We got to create this. We got to create that. It's not true, people. The Second Amendment is there for the free, it's necessary to the security of your free state. All right, people. That's all I'm going to say about it. You can go ahead and make your comments below. This is Mr. Elathermania. A strong desire for freedom.